Alright everyone, so big news for AMD users. We now have the Adrenaline Edition version 26.1.1, and in this update, if we go see and check the release notes, we have a lot of new features, and this is the thing that we want to talk about today. It's called the AI bundle, so let's go ahead and check that out. As you can see, the release date is just recent. So before, just as you guys were suffering from, is having to do manual installation for programs such as LM Studio and ComfyUI, and I made a couple of videos on those. So now in the AI bundle, you can have all of these things within the installation. So it will just set them all up for you perfectly. So PyTorch for on Windows, ComfyUI, Olama, LM Studio, MUs. If you're not familiar with MUs, it's free to use by AMD. However, it's a bit limited. Okay, so I've already installed this driver. Let's check out the AI bundle. You go and manage updates and check out this AI bundle. And there you go, have it. These are all the things that you can install. I already have LM Studio, as you can see. So we can go ahead and install ComfyUI from here. And it's as simple as that. You just press the button and then your app will show up. It's great seeing AMD keeping up to date with the AI space. As we know, NVIDIA with CUDA just dominated the field already. So I know some people are upset with AI becoming a thing and being shoved everywhere. However, this update and this progression of AMD giving AI more attention is great for developers and the developers of AI models. I'm more into the development side rather than using AI models. I'm fascinated with the benchmarks that you can get. Okay, as you can see, now that we have ComfyUI installed, let's go ahead and start it up. It's as simple as going to here, this AI tab, and going to your apps. So once you're here, you can hit refresh, and there you'll see the new ComfyUI install, and you just click on it. And there you'll see the UI pop up. Now you'll notice here that it says ComfyUI version 0.3.68. This is because it's using the desktop version of ComfyUI. And also, you might have noticed over here that it's not using the dedicated graphics card. This is actually my integrated graphics. So once again, if you've seen my previous videos, we just have to do a little adjustment. And to do that, I will first close ComfyUI by pressing Control C. Over here, we'll press I, and we can see some information. What's here in the model's directory path, you want to take that and paste it. And once you navigate to 2 steps back, you will find this launch_ComfyUI. So you would edit in Notepad, and you would need to find this where it says main.py, and just add --CUDA device 1. So this will make sure that it takes your GPU. And once you launch again, you can either launch with this script or back over here. It should be using the GPU. Over here, it says the 970 XT native. Alright, so this is how you can install the AI bundle ComfyUI version. As I explained, there's 4 services and the PyTorch framework. You can go ahead and explore MUs and LM Studio and Olama. Okay, so as you can see in the ComfyUI GitHub again, we have the desktop application, which is now in the bundle for the drivers, the portable package version, and the manual install. This is what we did in my first video. So in this video, I'll show you guys as well how to install the Windows portable package. With this, you'll get more flexibility with installing custom nodes. So you go over here to the releases, and as you can see, the latest one has been released a couple days ago. Here it says 2 days ago. you click on this version. So you'd select a location where you want the install to download to. So once it's installed, it's gonna be in a zipped archive, so you must extract all. You can just keep it in the same location, and it might take a while. Weird thing, this should be dependent on the storage speed or your CPU speed. However, my specs are not bad, and this seems low. If anyone knows about this, leave a comment in the description. Alright, it's speeding up towards the end. And you will be left with this folder. And in this folder, you have the ready-made run AMD GPU script. If you have a look inside it, it just calls the main.py. So let's go ahead and try that out. First, I'll close the old one. And now if we double click on this and press run, alright, we have the same issue where it's detecting our integrated graphics. However, we can still do the same trick to resolve that. I'll stop the server, and in the install script, you want to edit that in Notepad and press -- CUDA device 1. And once you launch again and save the file, you will see that we are using the dedicated graphics card. And now I'll showcase LTX2 text-to-video running on my 9070 XT. So over here in the templates, we can go ahead and find the default workflow for the text-to-video model. And if you just search LTX, there you have it. There's the image to video distilled, text to video distilled, text to video, image to video, text to video, and these are the old versions. So I'm interested in LTX2 text to video distilled. And it's showing us that these are the models that we need to download. So you can go ahead and download this one and this one. You don't need the LoRa. And for the checkpoints, we'll be installing the FP8 version, which is half the size of this. So go ahead and do that. I already have them installed, so I'll just import them. Quick tip, if you want to add custom paths to your ComfyUI directory so that your models can be in a different location while ComfyUI is in another location, you will have to go to the ComfyUI main directory and find this extra model paths on .yaml.example. So you would want to just copy this and paste it and rename it to extra model paths.yaml. And then you just press yes. Now once you edit it, it will tell you how to add your custom path. So I already have an example custom path, and everything that's in the comments with the hashtag is not going to be interpreted, so I'm just going to paste this and save. Now you can restart ComfyUI and then run it again. You will see in the logs that it's adding extra search paths over here. And now it's telling me that I'm still missing the checkpoint, but that's okay because I got the FP8 version. So once we go over here, we can select and it should show up. If it doesn't, check your models and refresh and load all folders and check your checkpoints. And inside, we have the latent spatial upscaler, and then we have Gemma 3 FP4 version. So by default, resolution is 1280 by 720. And the frame count is 121, which is 5 seconds. Let us just run the default example. Now some good signs to watch out for are increased usage in dedicated GPU memory, and this terminal not hanging. Once you see this spam of text, this means that the text has been inferred by Gemma over here. So it passed the inference, and now it's going to the sampling stage. So the sampling stage in this case, since it's a distilled model, it will only take 8 steps, whereas the dev model will take around, I believe, 20. Okay, so now it's starting to do the steps, and there we can see 13 seconds per iteration for the first step. Alright, so we're reaching towards the end and it's around 11 seconds per iteration. And there it completed the 8 steps in 1 minute and 35 seconds. And now this 3 steps is the upscaler. So this is sampling stage 2. A little fact is that what it does is in this stage reduce the data into a smaller size. So the resolution of the video that it creates here is tiny. So in this stage, what it's doing is it's increasing the resolution. And somehow in AMD GPUs, it's a bit slow. Before, when I tried this workflow and other workflows with LTX2, this used to be very, very long. And with my 9070 XT and using this specific workflow, I would have issues with going above 720p. So 1080p images, or I mean videos, are a bit tough to render. I got it once running, however, the text encoder was not on the GPU. I made it into low VRAM mode because the Gemma 3 loader node that it was using was not working. Okay, so for this run, it took 1 minute 32 seconds to complete the first step. So it might take around 3 minutes. Hopefully it's a bit faster. I've gotten it down to 30 seconds sometimes, but it's basically by luck at this point. Another fun fact, I recently got accepted in the YouTube Partners program. So you can now donate if you'd like or become channel members. I don't have anything yet, however, more is coming soon. And now our next goal is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So share, comment, like, subscribe. Okay, the first step was like 90 seconds. This one's 86, so it's going down. However, it's longer than the fastest time I've been able to generate. Usually with this workflow and this current state, the first time you load up ComfyUI and run this workflow, it would run quick. But the second time would cause issues and it would take longer, way longer. For example, I've ran it and I've gotten a whole video in around 4 minutes or even less. But the next step or the next time I try the same workflow, it would take around 12 minutes. So it's still not completely optimized, this implementation of ROCm. Also, with this update, AMD released ROCm 7.2, and I'll show you guys how to install it and try it out if you'd like. Okay, so we are done with the upscaling steps. Now we're doing the audio VAE, and that looks like it's done. And now we're doing the video VAE. This may take a bit, and you'll hear your GPU fans roaring. And once that's done, the video will produce. Okay, so we've just loaded the model. Now our GPU usage is increasing. I believe it's using the tiled decode node. So usually it wouldn't do the tiled one, which I guess is slower. So this breaks it apart. And there we have it. So now you can go ahead and try with the different versions of these models and see what your system can handle. And feel free to join the Discord and share what you generate. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys how to install this version of ROCm, which is 7.2, released in 20th January, which is a few days ago. As you can see, before it would use this one. Keep note of this number over here, 2025 November 16th. If you go ahead and check your ComfyUI logs, you will see the exact same version. So this is the version that we were using previously, 2025 11 16. However, now we have version 7.2, which is 2026 1.16. So I'll show you guys how to get this repo instead. And we'll be using this folder over here, which has this script, the update ComfyUI and Python dependencies. Let's open it up. And now, as you can see, in these URLs, it's mentioning the 7.1.1. So if we go ahead and update this Python dependencies, we will get the same version. So it's not actually the latest version. All we need to do is replace this link with this link over here. And with the magic of ChatGPT, I just told it to do it for me. So it's made sure to install all the needed packages, but it's using the correct names. So I'm just going to copy paste this. and put it in the script in the folder that we're working on. V. And I'm not going to save this file, I'm going to save as a new file. So I'll call it updates to ROCm 7.2. And make sure it's all files and add the .bat. Okay, so now we have the script, and let's go ahead and close ComfyUI and run the script and then relaunch it. Now that ComfyUI is closed, we don't have utilization in our GPU memory, and our memory is getting low. And we don't have the Python running over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and press update to ROCm 7.2. It's trying to install an upgrade pip, and then it's installing the modules needed from all of these links directly, as well as the local file, the requirements.txt. So it seems that it's paused, so let's just press enter. Now it's collecting the packages, and it's about to install. So while it's installing the new PyTorch with the new version of ROCm, let's go ahead and take this time to install some custom nodes. So the first custom node we want to install is the ComfyUI manager. And if we scroll down, since we're using the portable version, we'll follow this part of the README. So make sure you have Git installed, and then we could download this script. And this is what we get. So let's see what it says. Right click the link and choose save as. So we go over here and just save as. I believe it should be here. And it's going to be annoying and become a text document, so even if you rename it, edit in Notepad, file, save as, .bat, there you go. Now you have the bat version. It's a bit annoying. Let's see and press continue for this because it's paused. It looks like it's done. So let's also install the manager for the portable version. As you can see, it's using some Python to use Git to import from GitHub. It's quite cool. That looks like it's done as well. And now let's run ComfyUI again. You would see over here that there's some startup times for custom nodes. So ComfyUI is loading the manager. Alright, so we got an error this time. I believe this error is because of the new ROCm version. So in my case, I just need to remove this. Trust me, I've been through the trouble. And let's run again. And there you go. And as you can see, we're using 7.2, 2026, 116. And we opened up the canvas again, and we're back. So what I'm going to do is also try and see how long this would take. Now, it might still be faster than the previous version because it's a new version of ROCm. I had an issue somehow because it took a bit too longer than usual. So I'm going to start run on this. And now we're in stage 2 for this run to generate a video. It seems to be faster this time because last time it took more than 90 seconds for the first iteration. So let's find out. So what I usually like to do when I'm waiting a long time is just go on my phone and play this game called Plato. This game is so good actually. And once you download it, which I know you guys will because I told you to, you should try out Match Monsters. It's the best game mode ever. It's like Candy Crush but with Pokemons. Anyways, let's see how well our run is going, and 76 seconds per iteration. So last time it was 80. That's good. And there we go, it's done. So 75 seconds this time. It's already been 7 minutes, so not quite the fastest I've gotten before, but... And there we go, prompt executed in 508 seconds. So that's around, 8 minutes, 28 seconds. Let's see what it generated. La donna è morta! I don't think he said it quite correct, but that's amazing. This is being generated locally on my AMD GPU. I'll also explain to you guys that there is this link over here, the ROCm Nightlies. If you ask ChatGPT to update this script over here that we just made, tell it to use this repo, and it will actually do it for you. It's quite good. And you'd also see over here that there's the ComfyUI manager button. Now this is different than the manager that you'd see in the desktop release version as well. So keep that in mind. And over here, you can go to the custom nodes manager and you will see all of these custom nodes. We will be using ComfyUI GGUF because I'll also show you guys a workflow that uses the quantized models. And these would use less VRAM. However, I did not notice much difference in the generation times, which is the most important part. And there is also this custom node, which is made by LTX themselves. However, this is the workflow that I tried and it did not work because the issue was with the Gemma 3 node. If I could show you guys. Okay, yeah, same one. It's not complaining anymore, but you will have to do some adjustments over here. So you will need you can still use the FP8 model. You want to make sure that this is selected. And then for the Gemma 3 model loader, it's asking you to download the Gemma 3 from this link. Somehow it's only working with this. Or you can even load different ones. And over here, you need to make sure you select the correct name, and over here as well. So this model is too large. It's about 25 gigabytes because there's many parts and it's a pain to download. So anyways, if you've got it downloaded, if you press run for the first time, it will give you an error. It gets usually stuck in this stage, the enhancer. And there we go. So it says expected all tensors to be on the same device, but got indexes on CPU. Different from other tensors on CUDA 0. It's something to do with some tensors are in a different device, which means probably on the CPU, and some are on the GPU. After digging around, I found out that the issue was that you need to launch with a certain argument, the -- low VRAM, and that would put the text encoder on your CPU instead of your GPU. So that may help in actually letting the workflow run, but it will take a long time for this node to finish. So you'd have loading times or like generation times up more than 10 minutes. But there is a third option.
There is a third option.
So using quantization, we can have a different workflow, and there is one by KJNodes that's been made, and these use the quantized models, which will allow us to run the LTX2 model, which is around 12 gigabytes instead of this one, which is 27, and a smaller version of Gemma, also quantized. I have the FP4, I have the quantized version somewhere else. So we can even load the same one. The FP4 is not that bad, it's only 8 gigabytes. And using the quantized version workflow will allow everything to run in VRAM nicely. Keep in mind that this workflow has a default version 1080p. And this node over here tells us some information on how to set the correct numbers for the size. Okay, so let's go back and fix the problem that we had. If ComfyUI is not turning off, you can close it in the task manager, just end task. So do you remember this script? Let's go ahead and edit it again. We will add the -- low VRAM parameter. And let's run again. Okay, everything should be set already. And once we press run, I will show you guys that it's running on the CPU. First sign is that instead of our GPU memory is going up, we have high CPU usage. And the second point is that if you have a loud CPU fan, you're gonna hear it roar. So that's what I'm hearing right now. And also, it's going to take too long. And quick note as well, you can see the disk is being utilized. This is because it's loading all the models from the storage into memory, and our memory is filling up right now. So I'm not going to run this workflow, I'm just going to interrupt it. And what I noticed is once you interrupt, it doesn't actually interrupt. You can try pressing these buttons and over here, edit, unload all models, unload, and it still won't stop. So my CPU usage is still up, so it looks like it still didn't stop. So to fix that, we can just kill process. Okay, and make sure that no more Python is running. And this, all right. I'm going to remove this argument for now. And I'll show you guys this KJ LTX v2 comfy Hugging Face link. Over here, different information about the LTX model and a workflow that shows us how to use it. The main thing is you would want to install the models from here. You'd have the text encoder, which is, if I go over here, the text encoder is the one that goes over here. It looks confusing right now, but bear with me. This is a checkpoint. It has the clip and VAE. So it has all the things that it needs. The clip is what goes over here with the Gemma 3 model loader. You will see another version of this node is called the dual clip loader because this clip is coming from the video model and it's being combined with the Gemma model. What I'm saying is that the versions that we have over here, they're all separated. So if you go to diffusion models, you will have the transformer only versions. It doesn't matter right now, I'll show you guys how to use the lowest version with the best quality. Go ahead and download this model. And I'll show you guys where to put it as well. Download the Q4KM and that's it. And this model is 12 gigabytes. And download the distilled version of the embeddings connector. Download the two audio and video VAEs. Ignore the old version. And I'm not sure what this is, it's quite new. And it tells you the folders to put them in, so the diffusion model should go under this folder in the models directory. And now we're going to search for KJNodes. And we'll be looking for this custom node over here. And we're gonna restart again. And after trying it again, it still didn't work. So that's no problem. We can install the nodes from the GitHub. Alright, so we're gonna clone the repo and in the custom nodes folder, install dependencies. If you use the portable, install this using this command. So let's go ahead and do that. Copy the link. Let's go and close ComfyUI. Let's go into the custom nodes folder and open it in terminal. ls. Alright, so we do git clone, paste the command, paste the link, the install guide. If we just copy this command, so we paste the command, it says go to this folder, run the Python exe in this folder, and then I believe this is for in the virtual environment, pip install -r the requirements for ComfyUI KJNodes. Okay, looks like it was already satisfied, but something happened with the imports. Let's run the ComfyUI again. Okay, so this time it didn't say that it failed, and that's amazing. And now if we go into the directory for this custom nodes, if we go over here and go to the example workflows, we will see this is the workflow that we saw over there. But there are workflows for the LTX2 GGUF made by KJ. So I found this Hugging Face link.
Wow.
This workflow is using the quantized LTX2 model. So it asks us to download and we can put it into the workflows. And so it's in the workflows, but you can't actually drag it. You have to drag the video like this. And the workflow is embedded inside. And now it's asking us there's some missing models, which is the distilled LoRa. So we're not going to use any LoRa, so it's fine. And now it's asking us that there are some missing nodes. Alright, so these are actually in the ComfyUI GGUF package. So, but if you press check missing, it will tell you that these are the things that you need to install. So select all and just press install. Once that's done, press restart. Okay, so now we have this workflow. and it has some different components. So let's make sure, go ahead and go into each node and make sure it's correct. So what you'll need is the quantized version of Gemma. You will go to this repo over here, download these two files and put them in a text encoder, and make sure they're in the folder together. So I'll show you guys what it looks like. So you'll want it to look like this. In this folder is these two files. So this is for the text encoder, and for the units loader, this is where you want to install the distilled Q4 model, as well as the VAE loaders. So you can just select the audio one for here and the video one for here. This is the resolution, frame rate's 24, and the length over here is 151. So if we divide 151 divided by 24, so that's 6 seconds. I believe we can just make it 1 to 1. So let's just press run and see. There we go. Now we have some issues. So all I needed to do here is make sure to bypass this. We can press Control B, and for here, make sure you press the correct model. And for here as well, make sure you select the embeddings and make sure it says distilled. And if you press run again, there's some missing things. Over here, the audio VAE is bypassed for some reason. Press run. LoRa model loader only. Over here, we do not want this LoRa. You can download it if you want. I did not have it. And now press run. See, we got the GOT prompt over here, loading the GGUF. And let's check our graphics performance. And now we already got the inference for the text. Oh wow, this workflow is doing 31 steps. Let's go ahead and find where that says 31. So these are the 31 steps that it's doing. So I think 8 is enough. If it's fast, I'll continue this run. But it doesn't seem to be fast. It's been a while. Yep, so 49 seconds per iteration. This is too slow. Something's wrong. Let's run again with the 8 steps. Okay, so 37 seconds for the first iteration. Hopefully the second will be faster. The second was 36 seconds. So I went ahead and just stopped that because it's too long. There is a better workflow. So this workflow I just found randomly. It's from this Reddit link in Simplified AI. And you can just download this one and put it in your workflows. And in the workflows, refresh. So over here, just press extract all and you will have this folder. So if you refresh over here and this folder, you will select the LTX2 text to video, make a new full workflow and paste it. So this is the actual workflow that I've been using and it was working. And it tells you that you will need this custom node and this custom node and these models from over here. So I actually followed this note and it ran quite well. So we're going to select everything, make sure that it's correct. The embeddings connector distilled, make sure that that's selected. The audio VAE and the video VAE. And this setting is generating a 480p video, but the length is 243. Let's see the frame rate. The frame rate is 24, so that's around 10 seconds. Let's see if this runs. Okay, so let's try again. My PC just crashed when I tried to run this. Okay, we've reached the inference step and it looks like it did it too quick. We might just get a black image. Yep, we got a blank image and some static noise. So I'm going to adjust the resolution over here to be 1:80 by 720 and the length to 1:1. And if you want to add the quantized model of Gemma, you want to go to nodes and search for GGUF and search for dual clip loader. Put it here and select Gemma and then select the embeddings and select LTX here, LTXV. And then you can take this and put it here. You can hold shift to do that. Let's just put this over here and let's run. Now it's using the Q4 version of Gemma. This shouldn't take 1 second per iteration. It should be around 10. There we go, 10 seconds per iteration. Okay, now it's a bit too fast. Oh no. And we generated noise again. So I'll be honest guys, this is the workflow that I've been using that worked with GGUF properly. So this workflow is from somewhere that I forgot. So once I find the source for this workflow, I'll link it down below. But this looks like it's the only one that's working for me. And the only difference is I use the FP8 model.